So basically, I run into my first problem. Hi. I'm not sure how the time lapse is going. But here's the thing. This is the oddness about having a collection like this. You don't know what pieces you're going to run out of. Now, I have all these guys, 4x4 plates with the hinge on one side, and of course a couple with the windows, and I think there's more of those buried in here. And I brick-linked a virtual ton of these. Of course, I use them in layout, making my windows. But I never ever brick-linked any of these guys. This is the opposite wing. This is the flat. This is the flat hinge part for these guys. So I've already used. So you get it. This piece. I already used 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in here, and of course I have all my classic space sets built, which uses lots of them. And I only found 11, so I only have 1 blue, and I need 8. So I'm going to be using black. So this is going to be odd because I didn't expect that one. That was the one thing I did not expect. It might take me a while, so I don't know if I'm gonna. So I'm gonna be having to use these guys there. It's kind of sad. Maybe if I stumble across more blue ones later, but I don't know where they would be. So I'm not happy about it. So it's like, wow, I did not, out of all the pieces that I thought I was gonna run out of. And here's the thing. So these windows pieces here, these 45-degree 4x6 double convex, or whatever you want to call these window pieces, I thought I was going to run out of those, because I mean I could have made them using these pieces, which is what they did in the 6971 base. But then they came up with this guy, which saves me a lot. But I ran out of these, except of course I have a bunch in my layout. So in the tower, so I took 8 out of the tower, but these 8 are, you know, I didn't have to take the tower apart or anything. These things are put in place on the show. So I grabbed the 8 I needed from the space layout, and should I do another show in the next couple of weeks, I'll just grab them out of here, or again just do this temporarily. So, but these 7 black pieces, I'm not going to be that happy about. So, I find it odd, and yet I shouldn't find it odd, because of course I did all those. I built 17 6, 8, 9 O's, which each one of those requires one of those. So I have at least 17 plus the 11 here, and whatever other sets that came in. So I used them all up. So a little bit. Did I build 17, 15? I can't remember how many 6, 8, 9 O's I built. But anyway, it is what it is. I honestly can't complain too much, because this has been, I'm going to say this has been, well, I'll do a wrap up after today. I'm going to, like, the table's looking a little messy. I haven't completed the back end yet. These hinge bricks, of course, is what holds the back end on. So I'll have to build that momentarily. I was supposed to be building it up with the instructions, but I just wanted to finish this part, and then I'll build it separately and attach it. I will say, well, let's take some time. Let's get me in the screen so I don't have to like stoop down. I think I will say, oh, maybe a little higher. So, there we go. So you can see me. Hi. So yeah, I'm having fun. I'm honestly having fun. Now, the original instructions that I made, and you can see it, the original instructions was gray and blue and trans yellow, and you can see that just like the Dark Doomobile original, I put the bottom black line that was going to be add a little bit of flair to it. I did not do that at all. As you can see, there's no black line going across here and coming up here. I didn't do it. It's all blue. So it looks a little bland, but I could have put some greebling, but again, I designed this thing 40 years ago, so you know, trade a little slack. I could have put the arrow or classic space logo, whatever, but again, I designed this on paper. so the black was just brick built all the way across here. I'm not going to do it. So when you see all this blandness here, I'll come up with something later and rebuild it if I want to. I just want to see the thing together, you know, instead of just a CAD, well, very, very Commodore 64 CAD. It's not even a CAD program. This is just me using pixel art. Oh, I can't remember the program. I can't even remember the program now, but I used it. If you remember back in the day, if you were alive back in the day, back in 1982, this Commodore 64 had some software where they had the screenshot Middle Earth with the trees and the clouds and sun and the hills and whatever. Gorgeous. And I think, I want to say it's 320 pixels by 200 pixels, which is, well, 320 by 200, which was the resolution of the Commodore 64, because it had 40 characters by 25 characters, and each character was 8 by 8. So 320 by 200, and it was good enough. And then you can get right down to the pixel with this drawing program and just turn off and on pixels. You can zoom in, and that's basically how I did it. A lot of cut and paste. Remember that it did do cut and paste pretty well. Again, this is my first, the Commodore 64 version of MS Paint, but really archaic. Make circles and colors. The 64 had 16 colors, but if you use 16 colors, you'd have to reduce the color palette or the pixels to 180 by 200. Because remember, I won't go into the Commodore 64 era. So this has been fun for me thus far. We'll get the back built and put the rockets on here and blah blah blah, and see if I can spruce it up a little bit, because it does look bland. And I figured out there's 15 wing plates from tip to back here. So 15 wing plates times 7 studs. So this is actually a September ship built in November. and I won't say it's November, because these are at the back. So not at the front. So this can't classify. This cannot be classified as a November double V ship, because this is the back end. So anyway, I thought about that today when I saw some already in November, the people building the split wing thing. I'm having fun with it, and I'll do a follow-up later, and I'll get into more details. But I thought I'd just let you know that I have to put black ones here, and it's unfortunate. Now I'm gonna put more blue ones, these guys, because I got a million of these, as you can see. I'm not short on these guys. It is what it is. I am finding very interesting that I'm remembering my not my mindset, how I designed this in my head back then, and I'm finding it easier now, obviously, to follow my instructions than I did at the beginning of this, because I was completely, who made this? who made these things? Who like, really? I don't understand what he's doing here. So now that I got this far and we're almost done, then I'm saying, oh yeah, and then I'm remembering exactly. This is, again, this is my old school building anyway, and I will say this, while we're talking. So, let me get down here. Turn this thing around again. I will say, I'll put it this way. I did too. Don't land on pieces. That this right here, I don't know if you can see that. This is the 2x2 slope convex. I don't know what they call it. It's the It's the 2x2 slope that has the double convex. It's this piece right here. This guy. This piece right here, I mean, it's not everybody's done it when you build a roof of a house back in using these roof pieces. But that right here is exactly the same setup that's in my tower, even on the interior. So I remembered when I was building my tower that I designed this for, and again, this was virtual. I had never built this thing ever until now. But when I was building the tower, I said, ooh, I get to rip off my own self by building this little piece that has the interior and all the different things. I thought that's kind of neat. So anywho, I'm having fun. So I guess that's the important thing. And in the end, if it doesn't look good in the real world, it was great back when I was doing it 40 years ago in my head and drawing it on paper and spending time on my Commodore 64. But I'm going to go back to time-lapsing, and I'm going to turn this thing around because I'm going to be working the back end. And you know what? There. Okay. I will see you guys on the flip side, but a little rotund. Talk to you soon. And done. 3 nights. Was it 3 nights? 4 nights? I can't remember now. I'm posting these things not the night that I actually do this. This is a couple days in advance, and I skipped over Remembrance Day because that's not a day I want to post anything Lego-ish. That's reserved for Remembrance Day. But this is happening after Remembrance Day, this post. This is actually, I think today's November 9th. I'm going to plug in my phone and just tell me about battery. So I'm going to plug this in. So this is the first time this has ever been built in the real world. I didn't even bother building it virtually in MLCAD completely. I got the base done, and that's where I left it. I just got bored silly of doing it in CAD. And that was a while back. And so you look at this, and you look at this, it's pretty close. There were some subtle changes that I did not take into account when I was designing this on the Lego. On the Commodore 64. But in the end, I adhered to the instructions through and through. There were some mistakes, some stud loss and or gain, but overall, I'm going to quote Peter Jackson when it came to him making The Lord of the Rings. Every time they tried to go off script, basically the movie made him go back. I mean, the books, the story made him go back to the way the books had it. So every time I went off script on this thing, basically the instructions got me back on script. The major, I can't even believe I did this at the time, but again, this is 40 years ago. I thought a 4x10 could fit here on the edge of these doors, but no, only it's 3x10. So, whatever. There was a few other things like that, and again, there is zero interior right now. I did not put any interior on the plans because that would just really make them discombobulated. They're really crappy. So this is just the shell of the ship. And so what I might do instead of moving the ship around all the time, I might take the camera off of there and then I can show you this thing. So I'm going to stop this and pick it up. So here we are, the up close and personal video. I am moderately pleased that I finally built it, and I can see why I didn't, and it was better left in the past, because this is a relegation of the past building techniques. I mean, some of this is blatantly ripped off of two sets that came out, the Beta 1 and the X1, but I did modify it. I remember doing that to be a little cooler, but you know, in the end, I can't at all complain. I forgot to I didn't put any handles in the instructions, but there's supposed to be handles on these things. And so all these things are supposed to have working areas inside, and there's stairs going down to this area here, which again, I don't have any handles for yet. So this is supposed to be a working area here, and you can see the stairs there that go up to the next level. And then hallway ramps down to the cargo bay, and these, of course, this is where the people sit. And I think I put some consoles there, but that's about it. I don't even have a steering wheel in this guy. So, and I think I put some consoles in there because that was part of the instructions. As for the back of it, now I'm gonna have to put the camera back, so give me a minute. As for the back, and I remember doing this virtually in my head when I designed this thing, so I wanted the back to auto lock. So instead of putting in the Galaxy Explorer, you put the little 1x2 tile on it. So I built these things on the side to open up like that, and then you can open up the back. Ta-da! And then there's a ramp there, just like the Galaxy Explorer. It's like the big ramp. And then I get to hold this up while your camera's sitting there. And there's the interior, and yes, it's massively huge. And, you know, and again, it's completely unpopulated. It's completely not built anything in there. That's the way it is, because again, I didn't have the, I'll turn this way so I can show you again. Now this top part also opens up, but of course you have to lift that up, and then you can put your hand in there and you can, you know, whatever. So it, you know, it will fit one of these guys. So this can fit a 918. Jeffy was asking if it fit a 924. I highly doubt it. Do I have a 924? I should have it. There's a 924. Well, it might actually fit. So let's just take that guy out and turn this thing around again. Let me just grab it better before I break it. I again, when I built this thing in my head, there are pieces falling off already. So again, it's so big and bulky and whatever. I'll get those pieces back on at some point and open these things up again. And let's see, a 924 without the antenna. A 924 just fits inside. Can I close it? And if I put it in nicely, the antenna would have stayed on. Let me take this thing off and stuff it. 924 fits in right there. So that's fun. So a 924 will fit inside this thing, just touching the edges. So, you know, it is what it is. It, no, 928 is not going to fit in there. So, in the end, I will say this was lots of fun to build, revisiting my youth, my teenage years. A really close look at this mechanism. Basically, this thing was supposed to mirror that thing, except built out of brick. And when it closes, it goes like that. So this thing can't open now. The back can't open because it's stuck here. That was an idea I had, and I actually am impressed how well it worked. You know, now it is parts intensive, basic parts intensive. It is kind of blah blue all the way across and blah gray all the way here. It doesn't have a lot of charm. It doesn't have a lot of sophistication. It doesn't have a lot of greebling. But in the end, I didn't do any of that when I was a kid. Well, this is a bit, there we go. And this goes down. There we go. That goes down. There we go. That goes down. That goes down. And that goes right there. Done. Let's just, sorry, one more time with the stopping. So there you go. It is what it is. It's. I'm glad I did it. I mean, it's been in my head, obviously, for 40 years now. And here I am all night long. It's nice. I will say, compared to what we just got this year from the Lego company with the 10497, this is really, really rudimentary, really, really basic. And again, there's zero interior right now. I had thought of the interior, but I said I would have to build it first in order to have a good interior. And now that I built it, I'm looking at this wall of blue and the sea of gray. And, you know, I'm just going to put it in a box and forget about it. So I may roll it out for a couple more videos. But in the end, it's done. That's the best I can say about it. It compared to what other people are building now, again, this is 40 years ago and completely done virtually. But compared to what people are building now, this is, I don't know. I'm honestly on the fence whether or not I appreciate the effort that I put into it. I'll say that. Other than that, I'm just going to let it go. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I want everybody to be safe and take care of themselves. I want to say, let's get a nice front angle of this thing. And I want to also note right now, there's only one 1x2 with handles on this whole thing. And there's none anywhere else, which I think is kind of ironic. So that's it. That's all. Everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon. I forgot to show you guys the bottom completed. I'm holding it so it doesn't get smucked around. But that's the bottom. I can't hold it farther away. I enjoy that part. I really do. I think it looks kind of cool considering what it's doing. And you know, in the end, I will say it was worth it. It was worth it to build. Let's see, upside down. I'm going to stop this again. It doesn't look that bad. Considering the era, it doesn't look that bad. It could have gone for a lot more greebling, a lot more details, a lot more whatever. There's lots of derivative stuff. As I said before, a lot of derivative stuff. Even this is derivative of the sets, like the 6985. But, and I mean, this is a direct ripoff from the Galaxy Explorer and the 924. You know, it is what it is. It's what I was doing at the time when I was 15, 16 years old. This is what I was inspired with after we did Lego Wars, Pete, Jake, and I. And that Dark Doomobile was significantly smaller than this guy. But I wanted a bigger ship for the next movie. And this is what I designed on paper and then in the Commodore 64. And as I say, I followed the instructions that I made from back then. There are some minor changes, but it looks basically identical to this guy. You know, so I can't complain about this at all. That my instructions were that good from back then. Just surprising. And you can see that I colored this in blue. So I was obviously, this is my first iteration. I remember this being my first iteration. But then I thought the Dark Doomobile is going to be black with trans dark blue. And I didn't build that. I built this instead. I built it the original idea. And because I happen to have a lot of these 45 slope windows and a lot of yellow inserts, trans yellow inserts, thank you, Jealous Panda, it looks great. That part looks great. And I just have to, gussy it up a bit, I would say. This is kind of very, very meh when you look at it. But if I put some more details, do something with all this sea of blue here, maybe it'll look better. Maybe. I don't know. I'm really much undecided on this guy when I'm looking at it right now. But I hope you liked it, and I hope you enjoyed following my build. I really did enjoy building it. I will say that for sure. That kind of looks cool. That angle kind of looks cool. I do like the split wing. That turned out remarkably well. I wasn't expecting that. I remember thinking that it was going to look really cool when I designed it on the actual drawing it out on the graph paper and everything else. But I wasn't so sure it was going to look good in reality. And that's the one part I actually really, really appreciate. So, and of course, that's also the one part that took a lot of wing plates. This is also, and I think I might have mentioned this earlier, this also would work for September, but of course, September's gone. This is over 100 studs long, and therefore I'm not going to enter it in September. But this is my second 100 plus stud ship that I've ever built. Now this is significantly shorter than the last ship that I built, and I did that for September a long time ago. That was 6.5 feet long, if I remember correctly. This one's significantly shorter. So this one might stay together longer too, because the LL Destiny that I built years ago did not stay together very long because it was just far too big and far too cumbersome to do anything with. But this one might stay together longer, and I may do a nice little photo shoot with this in my Galaxy Explorers and my 924s and my 918, because it does seem to work with that. So maybe look forward to that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. All of a sudden I'm Judy Bloom. Then again, maybe I won't. You guys all out there, stay safe, take care, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.